Wanted to kind of share with you guys real quick before we jump into our lesson for the day. But, you know, um, we talk about all that life throws at us, and that's usually the main conversation. What life throws at us. You know, I've said this 1,000 times and I'll continue to say it, but Stanford did a study a while back. 87% of Americans, I think 87% of the world, working class men and women, let's just say, are getting up right now, heading into a job that they hate. They begrudgingly are getting out of bed. The alarm clock goes off. They moan and they groan, um, and they're now driving through traffic, road raging, getting pissed off about the guy in front of them, behind them, beside them. All the negativity on a Monday morning, starting this work week off. And I want us to stop and resonate or stop and reflect, more importantly, on what was our mood when that opportunity clock went off. Zig Ziglar never called it an alarm clock. He always called it an opportunity clock. And so I did a post this morning to the Brotherhood about challenging each individual person. And I wanted to continue this challenge out to every one of you, that stop looking at it as something you have to do. Start reflecting on this as something that you get to do. Now, it may not be the perfect moment, the perfect environment. It may not be the absolute dream, but let's, if we can stop thinking about what we don't have and start looking at what we've been given. Because number one, and we've talked about this 100 times, not everybody woke up this morning. Not everybody gets an opportunity to have a full-fledged day. You were chosen to get up this morning. You were chosen to give another day. And we don't know if tomorrow comes or not. So let's stop looking at what's not working in our lives. Let's stop stressing or getting irritated or agitated of all the things that are not working. And let's just start being grateful for the opportunity that we're given. And let's focus on, do we get that opportunity? And being grateful gives us positivity. It gives us a better version of who we should be. And I can promise you this, when you start feeling it, not just acting it, when you start feeling the gratitude, things start changing. Things start changing. So it was extremely important for me to share that because I know how hard Monday mornings used to be for me when we were in transitioning from one business to another and trying to keep multiple irons in the fire. And Sundays was a great day of just relaxing and reflecting. But then there was that Monday grind starting. And the minute that I realized that I am blessed, not only everything that I just experienced throughout the previous week or that weekend, but that I get another opportunity to make things better. I get another opportunity to maybe impact somebody, make their life better, make their day better. I get an opportunity to make a difference. So do you. Zig Ziglar says it that your attitude establishes your altitude. How high do you want to go? How high do you want to achieve? Your attitude determines your altitude. So we're going to jump into this. We're talking in this second series, the battle within, fighting this spiritual, mental, sometimes physical battle that starts hitting you because the noise is so loud. The noise of you staying in your comfort zone is so loud, it becomes reality. We start accepting it as, well, we're being disciplined. Excuses feel safe, and that's exactly why they're dangerous. We're talking about excuses that we accept as reality. Excuses are only stories. I want you to hear me. Excuses are only stories that we tell ourselves to justify our lack of. They feel safe, and that's exactly why they're dangerous. If you are comfortable in your life, shame on you. if you're comfortable in the reason why you're not challenging yourself, if you're comfortable because, well, I just don't believe I can achieve that, then all you've done is sell yourself short. And I challenge you to ask this one question internally. Why did you want that dream to begin with? What was it about that inspired you to think that someday that's what I want to achieve? Someday that's where I want to be. What was that one thing? And who have you witnessed have success in that? And the reason why I go down this is because something you saw gave you a thought, planted a seed that it's possible. And if it's possible, that means you've seen it, you've witnessed it, and therefore you desire it. And when you come to that conclusion, I want you to ask yourself this one next question. What makes them different than you? What makes them more qualified than you? What makes them have the right to achieve and have that and not you? And I'll tell you the difference is you. You've convinced yourself that they're qualified, that they are more blessed, they are more talented, they have more gifts. Only you can say that. And then you believe it. Excuses provide temporary comfort, but then it also gives you a long-term regret. The relief is real. When the pressure is off, we can breathe. But that cost is real too. The cost of not having, not being, not achieving is just as equally real. And that cost is always higher than the price of relief. Comfort now, pain later. See, that's the pain you're feeling. That I stayed comfortable. I wasn't ready. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the financial net worth. I didn't have the knowledge. Whatever excuse, whatever story you told yourself was that excuse that caused you to delay. And today you have that pain, that regret, that I'm behind financially. I'm behind in my relationship. I'm behind in my career. I'm behind in everything above. Only because I allowed the story or the excuse to prevent it. This is the trade that excuses offer you, and it's always, without exception, a losing deal. Always, without exception, it's a losing deal. The math is simple and brutal. The pain of discipline is measured in discomfort. The pain of regret is measured in years. Every time you choose the comfort of an excuse over the discomfort of action, you're borrowing relief from your future self. And trust me, it has compounding interest. Short-term comfort versus long-term consequences. Immediate relief from all that pressure, all that stress, all that anxiety. And it's one word that sums this up. The reason why you've given yourself this excuse is because of fear. False evidence appearing real. It's a story that you believe might become real. So you feel better right now, but the moment is survived without discomfort of action. Long-term consequences, months, years, decades later. The avoided action remains undone. The goal remains unachieved. The version of yourself you could have become remains unrealized. And that pain, it arrives larger, heavier, and permanently. Go ahead. Discipline now, freedom later. See, this is the counter offer. This is the trade that winners make. Discipline is chosen. It's choosing discomfort on your own terms before it chooses it for you. Discipline is choosing discomfort on your own terms before it chooses it for you. When you determine who you want to be, where you want to be, what you want to do, and you stop being interested and you're now committed, and maybe you finally crossed over to not being committed, but now being obsessed. When you become obsessed with that calling, you get excited about the discomfort. You get excited about the trials and tribulations. You get excited when the storms come harder and harder. You know you're this close to breaking through. If it's just a light rain, if it's just a light shower, you've barely scratched the surface. It's when the storms are coming, the lightning is popping, hailstorms are everywhere. Tornadoes are all around you. I mean, it is the darkest moment of your life, and you think it's all coming crashing down. You have a choice. Do I quit now, revert back to my comfort zone, or do I plow forward knowing that God is in control? Knowing that my God is bigger than all this, and that if He brought me here, if He brought me this far, He will carry me through. Footprints in the sand tells that story. If you've never read that poem, you need to read that poem. Footprints in the Sand is the most remarkable poem out there that shares God's care, vision, passion for you. And to know and to believe and to understand that regardless of what's going on around us, we have a choice to accept Him as our Lord and Savior, to accept Him as our hero. But when we know this, then we know that we will be delivered. God never called perfect people. He called people to become perfect. If you've ever been waiting to feel ready, qualified, or equipped before stepping into your calling, consider who God has actually chosen throughout history. If you think you're not qualified, go look at the most remarkable people in Scripture. When I say remarkable, I'm saying legendary, historical people that God called. And you can go to the Old Testament, you can go into the New Testament, it's all the same. In fact, if you look at the individuals that God made the biggest impact on, they were less qualified than you and I. The one thing that when I look at it, the one thing I see universally was their heart, their desire. They wanted more. They wanted to become more. They wanted to do more. They wanted to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And when it was presented, when that opportunity was presented, they were all in. They weren't interested. The rest of them were committed. Most of them were obsessed. They all sacrificed everything for today's foundation of Christianity. Not religion, Christianity. All of those 12 disciples who were the worst of the worst, the least of the least, gave up everything to create this legacy that we have today. Moses, a murderer in exile with a speech impediment, called to comfort the most powerful ruler on earth and liberate the entire nation. His response, I can't speak. God responds, go anyway. David, my hero in the Bible. For 50 years, I've aspired to have the heart of David, to have the leadership of David. But yet, when you look at him, the youngest, overlooked by all his brothers and his father, a shepherd boy with a sling that nobody even looked at as anything. And yet God specifically selected him, not because of his credentials, but because of his heart. And then there's so much to know about David as an adulteress, as a murderer, as a chauvinist. And when David was in the caves running from Saul, even after he had been anointed the next king of Israel, he was running for his life. You talk about dark moments. Go read the book of Psalms. This is David's entire life while running from Saul, who was out to kill him for no reason. Talk about being dealt a bad hand. You think you've been dealt a bad hand? Go look at David, who was anointed by Samuel to be the next king of Israel, the most powerful nation. He had to wait his time. He's being hunted to be executed by the reigning king for no reason at all. And yet he waited patiently for his time. Peter, who denied Christ 3 times, who actually walked with Christ for 3 years, walked with him side by side, saw miracle after miracle after miracle, was able to touch, talk to, lay next to, be a part of Jesus Christ. And yet when crap hit the fan, Peter denied him 3 times because he was scared. Paul, who persecuted the Christians, who was murdering, was part of the first slaughter of Stephen, who was stoned to death because of his faith in Christ. Paul set out, the most zealous individual set out to execute anybody who was following Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and then became the most profound author of the New Testament, wrote more books in the New Testament than anybody else, and spent the next 20, 30, 40 years of his life in prison or inspiring individuals, because he had a revelation, he had a true understanding, and he realized. But if you look at all of them, their passion, their heart, their ability to transform was unified. See, it's not about being ready, ladies and gentlemen. You'll never be ready. Let me tell you, I've been in real estate, I've been in finance for over 30 years, and I'm still improving my skills. I've been selling since I was 6 years old, and I'm still improving. I'm still getting better. I'm still learning. 50 some years later of education, information, and execution. It's not about being ready. It's about being obedient. This is what separates them all. Not the talent, not the qualifications, not a perfect background or a clean record. And there was no absence of fear. They all had fear. What separated the ordinary, flawed, afraid from the people who changed the world was one thing. They all said yes when they were called. Each and every one of you have been called. Each and every one of you has a story, has a purpose. Are you really executing on that? Are you obsessed with this opportunity that you have to be able to take it to the next level and walk up to complete strangers and just put a smile on their face? That's it. Just put a smile on their face. The real question is, what if I fail? It's the wrong question, ladies and gentlemen. You will fail. I'm going to tell you, whatever you're set out to do, whatever you're set out to become, you will fail. You will fall flat. You'll get knocked down. Les Brown says, if you get knocked down, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. So understand, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Many people don't want to hear the truth, but then they get upset when it doesn't happen. When we started doing this coaching program, we started transforming from real estate investing and lending to coaching. Nobody told me the truth, and it pissed me off. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. You're going to get rejected. You're going to get told no. You're going to get told you're a fraud. You're going to get told all these things because the world wants to knock you down. And what I've realized is the louder, the harder the punches, the bigger the results. So don't ask yourself, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what happens if I never try? See, that's failure. Just because something didn't work out doesn't make it a failure. It makes it an opportunity of education. What did you learn from it? What can you do different next round? This is the reason why nobody moves forward, because they're afraid of failing. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of disappointment. And they've convinced themselves that it's safer to stay right here, knowing the results, knowing the expectation, versus jumping off into the darkness, not knowing. But then they look back and they look back and they look back, and they have years of regret piled up time after time after time. We talk to students who are coming into the real estate and they give me all this. I don't have the money. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the time. And I'm saying, because of those reasons, this is exactly why you need to get into this, because nothing's going to change. If you don't make a decision to change today, those same reasons are going to be there tomorrow. Those same reasons are going to be there next week, next month, next year, next decade, because nothing will change when nothing changes. And I asked them, so because of these 3-4 reasons, what's going to change in your life that removes them if you don't make a decision today to do something different? And they can't answer it. They have no answer. One question creates fear, the other one creates urgency. Choose your question deliberately. Choose your question deliberately. What happens if I never try? I can tell you, nothing happens. No success, no growth, no fulfillment, no enrichment, nothing. In fact, I can tell you this, your life will get worse because you'll get older and you'll live with more regret and you get less time to achieve. See, one of these questions, what if I fail, creates fear. The other one, what if I don't try, creates urgency. The question that you ask yourself, they're not neutral. They are not harmless, and they're not a harmless internal monologue. They are an architecture of your thinking, and if your thinking is the architecture of your life. The decisions we make should shape our lives, but the life we want should shape our decisions. I'm going to say this one more time. Write it down. The decisions we make should shape our life. The decisions we make should shape our life. But the life we want should shape our decisions. It is my tagline that I use on almost every speech. See, you can't make a decision and then hope you get the result. You have to know what the result is you want, and then you make decisions that will get you there. Right now, most of us have a life based upon decisions that we really didn't make, we just did. It was easy, non-confrontational, wasn't disruptive, didn't go against the curve. Therefore, we have a mediocrity of life, mediocre life. We have this life of existing, not achieving. I'm going to go through these three real quick. Ask fear questions. What if it doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough? What if people laugh? These questions flood your system with caution and produce one consistent outcome. That means not moving forward. When you ask these questions, what if, what if, what if, all you're doing is confirming what the world wants you to think. Number two, generate fear responses. Your brain receives the fear question and begins building a case for inaction. Inaction. Evidence is gathered, risks are amplified, and the comfort choices is rationalized as the wise choice. If you don't take action, then the results become unbearable. Information, education without action is frustration. The cost of an excuse. You lose your confidence. When fear is all you feel, it has suppressed you so much that now you have no confidence in yourself. Growth is sacrificed. You're now staying stagnant. Stagnant water creates algae, moss, nastiness. Moving water is purified and glorified. You have no more missed opportunities. See, God presents us opportunities every day. And if we don't look at those opportunities as opportunities, if we just say, well, that's pretty cool, but I'm not ready. Oh, I'd love to do that, but not right now. Those are opportunities. God's saying, please hear me, feel me, respect me, believe in me, because I'm presenting this to you. Your true potential is unrealized and time is lost. It doesn't matter how old you are. What matters is how willing you are, how ready you are, how committed you are. Time is the one thing you'll never get back. We're never going to go back in time. So then let's stop worrying about that. And let's start accepting the fact that today is the best day of the rest of our lives. Today, God gave me an opportunity to excel. Today, I'm going to find purpose in everything and every person that I interact with. Every other resource has a recovery path. You can rebuild finances. You can restore your health. You can repair relationships. You can even rebuild your reputation. See, Les Brown says, what other people think of you is none of your damn business. And he says it that way. I'm saying it word for word. So don't get mad at Messenger. I'm just repeating it. But it's true. We can rebuild everything. We can rebuild finances. We can rebuild our reputation. We can restore relationships. Everything can be rebuilt except for time. The most expensive thing you'll ever spend is a year of your life that's protected by excuses. You can't rebuild that. It's gone. Time is the most valuable asset we have, and it's because you can't ever get it back. You cannot buy it back. You cannot work harder later to compensate for it. It is simply gone. So understand that today you start with fully committed to your calling, to your purpose, to your vision, knowing that God is in control. The world's going to come at you until you whip its butt and it says, I'm done. It's in our favor that we know that the world will only come at us for so long and then it will walk away and leave you be if you stay the course, fully committed, fully surrendered, fully understanding. The cost of excuse is always paid in the currency you can least afford to lose: time, growth, potential, and the irreplaceable experience of becoming who you were meant and made to be. Ownership changes everything. There's one decision, a single fundamental shift in orientation that instantly changes the trajectory of your life. It's not just a technique, it's not just a strategy, it's a posture. It's the one decision to take complete, unconditional ownership of your experience, your results, and your future. Ownership, we talk about this. The moment you take ownership, your power returns. Not partially, not gradually, immediately and completely. The minute you own you and stop letting everything else influence you, you have an immediate transformation. As long as the reasons for your situation lives outside of you, in your circumstances, your history, other people's behavior, the economy, your upbringing, you are powerless to change it. You can only change what you own. You are the most powerful force in your own life. And that declaration unlocks everything that follows you. From I can't, which is the two words I hate the most. Now, maybe the way you're doing it isn't working, and that's okay. It is what I'm doing right now isn't working, is the answer, is the statement, is the belief, not I can't. Well, I tried this and it didn't work. That's fine. That's okay. Stop saying I can't, because whether you can or you can't, you're correct. Whichever you believe. And if you say I can't, the universe says they can't. I'll accept that. And we're going to run with that. If you say I can, but I need help, I need to do it differently, I need to change, that's positive. That's positive. Remove those two words, please. From I can't to I'll find a way. I don't know how. I don't know when, but I'll find a way. That has to be your mindset, or nothing will change. I don't feel worthy. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. What is it that's stopping you from feeling worthy? Well, I do this wrong and I do that wrong and I do this. Then stop doing that. Now, I know that sounds easy. It's easier said than done. But once you fully understand what's holding you back, and the minute you recognize and realize you control it, you can make different decisions, different choices, and you'll absolutely get better results. This is the noise. This is the world conquering you, holding you down, holding you back. Is it scary? Absolutely. But here's what I tell you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll wrap this up. Here's what I tell you. The scarier it is, the bigger the results. The scarier it is, the greater the fulfillment. The scarier it is, the more you need God, and the more He will bless you when you surrender. Please listen. Please accept, and please understand. This is real. This is not theory. This is not hypothetical. This is nothing other than battle-scarred, battle-driven life experience that I'm sharing with you. The excuse killer framework. Is this true? Your fear. Is it true? No, it's not. It's a story. Is the story you're telling yourself helping you? Probably not. Holding you back. And then what action do I take to overcome my fears? What action do I take? All right. There's so much in this room right here, right now. So many individuals, so many people that have so much opportunity to become amazing, to become transformed. All right. I'm going to sign off here. Great Monday morning. I want you guys to look at from today, every day, what's the opportunity God's presenting to me? Number one, He got me up. That's a great opportunity to be grateful. And then every moment throughout the day, recognize what other opportunity am I given and how do I excel at it? Okay, that's your challenge for the week. We still haven't gotten through this. We will. But I'm taking these excuses very deep because we live in this world. We live in this world right here. Excuses. We all say we're committed. We all want more, but we let the excuses dictate our success. So I'm going to hammer this home for the next several weeks. Bring a friend, bring a family member, bring somebody who needs to hear it. Love you guys. Dr. Toby Potter. I'll see you guys next week.